Welcome to the Wholesome Music Podcast.
It's the DIY podcast
about DIY music. And if you listened or watched for this episode, we actually organically on the spot came up with a new tagline.
Yeah, we did.
That we're gonna introduce. It just happens.
It did.
It just happens.
It just organically popped out.
And that's the thing about music, right? The best stuff happens when
organically when you're just chopping it up.
When you're chopping it up, when you're in the flow. Obviously, this was a big week for music with the Grammys.
Music's biggest week.
So we are going to talk about the Grammys. Specifically, there was a lot of activism in this year's Grammys.
Shout out Ice. I mean, don't shout out Ice. Fuck Ice.
Okay.
Shout out to the fact that Ice was represented there, not like actually to the fuck everybody involved with Ice. I mean like shout out the fact that Ice was represented, but not like that.
Oh God. This has been a good episode for you. There's a couple times.
There's a few moments
where Cameron kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit.
This is a clippable episode.
This may be. We have preparing for immigration enforcement. Speaking of ICE, keeping music and performing arts venues, staff, artists, and audiences safe. We have a lawsuit from Spotify.
That's right. A trillion. How many trillions?
You wait and
find out.
Finally, we touched a little bit on the Epstein files.
We did.
We
talked about the adventures, the Epstein files venture into the music industry and the validity or invalidity of these allegations.
Yeah, and how much music is actually represented in Epstein's dump, which is interesting. And we'll get into that.
Yeah, we will.
First, who are you?
My name's Cam LJ. You're here with us as a Secret Spot DTLA. We're downtown Los Angeles' co-working space for creatives. My pronouns are he, they, or she, but I'll take any pronouns that you want to call me.
My name is Augustus Watkins. I am a musician, songwriter. I do traditional music, PR, and artist and label services with my partner in a company called Cocaine Opera, and I co-own a record label with the same partner called Give Take. Pronouns he, she, or they. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, get up on that shit so you can get us every single week. I think we've said what we need to say.
I think we did.
Happy Black History Month.
That's right.
We're going to kick that off. We are going to talk about Black History Month a little bit.
But not in this episode.
Well, a little bit.
A little bit.
We're going to touch on it.
But we could do more. We could always do more to talk about Black History Month.
And with that, let's kick it off.
Here we go.
Yesterday, we record these on Mondays.
Yes, we do.
We release them on Wednesdays with air quotes.
Yeah, Wednesday-ish.
Wednesday-ish. Definitely by Friday, usually.
Always by Thursday.
Always, but usually by Friday.
Yeah, but sometimes on Wednesday.
But mostly on Wednesday.
Most days on Wednesdays.
At any rate, so we're reacting to the Grammys, which to us was yesterday.
Yeah.
To you was 3-4 days ago.
Earlier this week
or more. So I suspect that by the time you get this out there in the world, a lot of something probably fucking heinous will have happened.
Yes,
the Grammys will be out.
Yeah, the Grammys will be old news, but you know what? We're still gonna cover it because it's new news to us.
It's new to us. We're gonna talk about the Grammys 2026. So basically, what I've done is I've grabbed a handful of accounts of people who have been reacting to this and kind of posting and then compositing them. I think the main thing that I think it's one of those things. I would imagine if your algorithm is tuned to the music or entertainment industry,
it's going to be everywhere.
You've been seeing this that the Grammy. What did we say? Music's
biggest night.
Yeah,
the Grammy Awards are music's big. I love that branding. I think they killed that.
That is good branding. That is nice. We should be music's smallest podcast.
I like that's us. That's us. Music's smallest podcast. That might actually be us.
That's actually really funny. All right, so I took a couple of these. I think I've got everybody tagged. Of course, I always will put these in the show notes so that you can get these. So let's start with at Amplify Her Voice. Women won big at the Grammy Awards and used their platform for good.
Yes.
So I'll just kind of mention a couple of these. Olivia Dean,
yes,
who said, "I'm up here as the granddaughter of an immigrant. I'm a byproduct of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated." SZA very eloquently. It's always fuck ice.
Yes. Did you see the fuck ice pins too? The ice out pins?
Ice out pins, lots of ice out
Yes.
pins.
They were a little small for me though. I wish they had been bigger pins.
Yeah, I agree. A little performative, but I'll take it. Billy, I think this was one of the big ones. No one is illegal on stolen land. We just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter. Fuck ice. She's not the only white person who like wore a pin or spoke out, but as far as I know, I didn't watch. Did you watch the Grammys?
I watched like parts of it.
Okay.
I didn't watch it straight through.
Okay.
I watched like the red carpet aspect.
Okay.
And then the beginning of the awards. Then I tapped out, and then I came back and watched recaps.
Okay. I'm always like, the Grammys have never been. We should have started with this instead of halfway through.
No,
the Grammys have never been. I felt like I've never, and I think we talked about this when we talked about the Grammys previously a couple episodes ago.
Yes.
The Grammys have never felt like they're for me.
Yeah, the Grammys are very, I mean, we talked about this in that episode too, but I think the Grammys are a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's really cool to honor other musicians for the accomplishments they've made every year, and to create like a space for that is cool.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes like the level you have to achieve to be recognized by the Grammys makes them feel inaccessible.
Yep.
And historically, they've also been out of touch,
Yes.
which didn't help. So I think the Grammys are maybe on this like path to rejuvenation, to
Hopefully, we still one thing before we kind of get to a few more people who actually who spoke out.
Yeah.
One of the criticisms that actually came to us via a comment from Dank Studios. Shout out Dank Studios. She's a really cool. She has a studio, but then she does some really great content around music.
Some dank stuff.
Yeah, and women. It's DENK, Denk.
Oh, dank! I thought it was dank, like
I know.
Dank Studios.
That's my accent coming through, which I might just slip into if you're not careful. And she pointed out that a woman has never won producer of the year. Yeah, and that remains. So continuing. Kaylani had said, I hope everyone is inspired to join together as a community of artists and speak out against what's going on. I'm going to leave this and say, fuck ICE. Lady Gaga has been out speaking against ICE in her concerts. At the Grammys. She kind of spoke out about women in music. She said, I urge you to listen to yourself and always fight for your ideas. Make sure that you're heard, specifically towards women in music. And she kind of mentioned like a lot of times when you're a woman, you're the only woman in a room.
Especially in the entertainment industry, because we still have a huge divide.
Yeah.
Like the music industry is so much male.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's really tough. And so shout out to all the girlies who
Yeah.
are out here making it in music.
And then I don't know how to say this. Laufey, Laufey, Laffy. I don't care. I owe everything to my music education, to my arts education. We cannot cut we cannot cut arts funding.
We were talking about this last week.
So last episode we talked about arts funding. So people are out there talking about this.
I do think the Grammys is a great platform to talk about what's important. I do think that's kind of one of the things that the Grammys do provide is like if you win a Grammy, you get this moment to speak about what's important to you. And I do think that's some value that the Grammys provides.
Yeah. And this year, I mean, we really I think you said it right. There's been a lot of criticism about the Grammys being out of touch. This happens to every major awards show where it's like, all right, you guys are all like at the point that anybody is up there. Anybody in that room is already like objectively successful. Yeah. And not to say they didn't work for it. No. But they're objectively successful at that point. And so I think there can be a level of alienation that people, and this speaks to me personally, but they can feel a level of alienation when I watch these things. Because it's like I'm supposed to cheer for you. Oh, so-and-so won and I'm really happy for them. But it's like, you're already winning. Yeah. You're in rooms that I'll never get to be in, right?
This is everybody loves an underdog story, and all of the Grammys are not. There's no underdogs. There's no underdogs at the Grammys. Yeah. Well, and maybe I don't know how to atone that. That's tough.
No, and that's not look almost many of these stories are still success stories. For instance, Shabuzi. Yeah.
Shout out Shabuzi,
who said immigrants built this country. Who said it in his speech that he's the son of an immigrant mother.
It's cool to see Shabuzi speak out in particular because I think sometimes in the country space it can be harder to make those statements. And so I'm happy to see Shabuzi putting in the work.
Yeah. I'd like to see some, and not to say that they haven't been, but I'd like to see more white people because obviously the country is
Very white
extremely
space.
fucking white.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see like the white people in country speaking up, and they are. I posted some stuff on our Instagram of white artists in the country space speaking out. So that does happen. I'm not trying to like.
Oh, it never happens.
But
It's
like,
impossible.
But we know this is a white supremacy issue, so hey,
yes,
we'll take it. Samara Joy said, "Now is the time to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. It's the least that I can do." She said something that was really interesting, and she said this on the red carpet. "I don't want to draw attention to myself all the time without recognizing the humanity between myself and all the people around the world who are experiencing such tragedies."
Yeah.
And the reason I really loved this is because I think she acknowledged something that we're speaking about here, which is like there's a tension present in any kind of show business space. And I think this really cuts to like the heart of even like us doing this segment and us talking about the Grammys and us doing this podcast, frankly, at this point, which is that there's a tension present. And I'm sure that you all who are listening and watching feel this to some level too, between like, all right, we're here to like celebrate, or I'm here to express myself, or I have this artistic vision. That's valid, but we're also doing it in this time of extreme political realities.
Yeah.
And so we as artists do have to navigate that tension. And I just really like how she articulated it. She said, I don't want to draw attention to myself all the time. But
yeah.
She acknowledged, like, I'm out for me. I'm trying to build a career. This is an attention economy kind of
absolutely.
career.
In the entertainment industry, absolutely, is the attention economy.
But I'm here to enter. But I'm also here to speak out. Of course, Bad Bunny.
Yes, Bad Bunny was eloquent.
"We are not savages. We are not animals. We're not aliens. We are humans, and we are Americans." And then he continued, "The hate gets more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love." I encourage you to find Bad Bunny's whole acceptance speech because
it was actually really beautiful. It was really powerful. I did see that.
Okay.
And I thought, like, when Bad Bunny won the award, he was like crying.
Yeah.
He was. Have you seen the clip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought it was beautiful because it was like, and I think there's like, there's like that like machismo. Like you gotta be strong, gotta not show your emotions.
Right.
But I thought it was beautiful to see him like showing those emotions and like sharing, and also like Bad Bunny doesn't need to come to the Grammys. Like Bad Bunny can be awarded for music not in the United States,
right?
And so it was cool to see him here.
Yeah,
and I think his statement wasn't just him being there. It was what he was wearing, what he was saying, what he wasn't saying. All of those things I think played into his vibe at the Grammys. And
he's a really savvy operator as like a person in public. Of course, next week he's doing the Super Bowl halftime,
and had canceled all of his U.S. performances.
Right. So there's something that I'm glad you mentioned that, because to me that's such that's why knowing that. He says, what is he? The only thing that's more powerful than hate is love. And he goes on to say something to the effect of like, we don't hate you.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to paraphrase. He basically said like, we shouldn't hate the people in ICE. We like, because love will drive out hate. And for a person to say that, after losing an enormous amount of money by not touring the United States, like that fucked his bottom line up big time.
You think so though?
Oh yes. Bad Bunny lost so much money by not touring the United States.
So much
not
potential,
lost,
potential revenue. But I don't think he's in the same contract that some of our artists are. Like I would be curious to see if he has a little bit more leeway to be like, I want to do this or I don't want to do this.
I see where you're coming from, like, because I think there are some artists who would just be like, wouldn't be in the position to cancel a tour.
Yeah.
So, but regardless of that, like, I think Bad Bunny.
I don't know that either. Yeah. That was just I'm curious if that's the situation because he's not a U.S. artist.
Yes,
not
he is.
Gonna no. Is he signed to a U.S. label?
Well, he's Puerto
Rican.
So,
but he's not like a mainland U.S. artist. Like I don't think he's signed to Warner U.S. or to.
We should look, because he's not on a major deal. And look, regardless of
he's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Regardless, but is he signed? My question is, would he be under like Warner US, UMG US, or would he be under like a separate division?
He might. I see what you're saying. But regardless of that, because that is interesting.
Not saying that he's not a US citizen.
No,
Let's
nobody
just clarify that real quick.
I didn't hear you saying that. But regardless of that, well, like the details of his deal, he left a lot of money on the table by not doing
that's
this tour.
cool. That is really cool. Respect.
Yeah, and to turn around and so that was awesome. And then to turn around and say we need to resolve the situation with love. Like I think there's a lot of artists who would feel like a lot of resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's expressing something else. I just think that was really lovely. I have one more that I took. This is from Sound Find with a Y. And this is the queer artist who won at the 2026 Grammys. Duran Bernard for Best Progressive R&B Album, Tyler the Creator for Best Album Cover, Billie Eilish Song of the Year, Lolo Young Best Pop Solo Performance, Doechii for Best Music Video, FKA Twigs for Best Dance and Electronic Album, Cynthia Erivo, thank you, and Ariana Grande, Defying Gravity, their
Wicked.
Best Pop Duo / Group Performance, Lady Gaga, Best Dance Pop Recording, and Best Pop Vocal Album, and Kehlani, Best R&B Song and Best R&B Performance.
You know who wasn't on your list?
Who wasn't on my list?
Kendrick Lamar.
How so?
Kendrick Lamar was not on your list.
Yeah, is he a queer artist?
Kendrick Lamar is not a queer artist.
Okay.
I thought you were listing the entire...
No. This is the queer artist who won the 2026 Grammys.
Well, duh.
Okay.
I knew that. I knew that.
But I thought you were going to say somebody else who we were talking about.
No, I wasn't. Who was I going to say?
Well, we talked about like the absence of Bad Bunny on this list.
Yes. Yeah, Bad Bunny is also not on this list.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny is really interesting because Bad Bunny has this like queer identity tied to him, but it isn't necessarily clear.
Yeah.
Like we were talking a little bit before the show, like where is the line between allyship and queer baiting?
Right.
Like where does that cross over?
Right, because he's certainly an ally.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but I watched him in a movie where he plays a gay man. He has a homosexual kiss in the movie, and so that doesn't like many straight people play gay people, many gay people play straight people in the world. So like that doesn't mean that he's queer.
No,
but that definitely means that he's an ally.
Yeah, there's some form of alliedness, and I think he's had other moments where he's playing to the queer community, and I think he's been really been very affirming in the kind of content that he makes.
Yeah. Look, Bad Bunny's for the people. There's no way around that.
Yeah, Bad Bunny for the people.
Yeah.
But whether he's actually queer or whether it's just like part of his piece as an ally, it's unclear. But I thought it was clear that he was absent of this list.
Yeah.
But I also really want to talk about Kendrick Lamar.
What do you want to say?
Kendrick had a good night.
Yes, he did.
Kendrick had a really, really, really uniquely good night. I thought it was possible that he might not, but coming away with, I think he had 4 Grammys last night. I think it was 3 or 4. And just wild to see so much success. Hip hop isn't dead, despite the conversation of hip hop being dead, being the end of hip hop. No, we're still here. We're still showing up, still looking fresh as fuck in the suits. Love it.
Yeah. And at the beginning of Black History Month, Kendrick and many other Black artists were represented. And I think that's a really nice sign for this year. That's like, these are I'm not going to surprise anybody by saying this is a extra tough time to be Black or brown in this country.
Yeah.
And so, to see a lot of BIPOC folks coming away with wins last night, that was good to see.
It was a surprise to see. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but it was maybe a positive surprise. We didn't see Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
And we also didn't see Drake.
They're probably hosting their own.
They're back at home doing something else.
They're probably on Twitch stream together doing
can you believe we didn't get nominated this year?
Yeah. Trevor Noah did get a dig in on.
He did, and Donald Trump got pretty upset about that.
Oh,
did you hear about this?
Poor Donald.
Donald Trump is trying to sue Trevor Noah
for talking some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, freedom of the press here. We got freedom of the press. Come on, my guy.
Jesus Christ. Are you what's I don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Fuck.
We don't need to do it.
I don't want to talk about.
But I did think if we were talking about Trevor Noah, we should talk about the backlash he got.
Yeah. Well, good. If you're not pissing off Donald Trump, you're not doing it right.
That's right.
That's good. So that's all I have prepared. What else do you want to say?
I think that's everything I have for the Grammys.
All right, awesome. So let us know in the comments maybe if like what your favorite Grammy moments were.
Did you do anything special for music's biggest night?
Yeah, I haven't. One thing I do like to do, and I do plan to do, is I like to watch all the performances. And so
There were some. Actually, before we wrap up,
Mhm.
we should talk about Alex Warren. Did you watch Alex Warren's performance?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so
I'm out here like this is how white guy with a podcast I am right now. I'm out here doing a reaction to
content you haven't seen.
Content I haven't seen. Yep.
So Alex Warren was performing the song "Ordinary." Something so out of the ordinary. He's doing that, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Except that his in-ear monitors stopped working.
Oh shit.
So he's out here. The track is going something so out, and he's like something so out of the ordinary. Like it's off by a full like at least second and a half.
Ooh,
where he's going through. Shout out Alex Warren for just pushing through, but he is behind by a full like second and a half, and at some point he just pulls it out and is like, I'm going with it.
Damn.
But for music's biggest night, there were a number of little hiccups like that happened.
Okay.
And I thought that was kind of fun. And it'll be a fun watch when you do see them.
All right. So I will look. So like, leave a comment to say like what I'd love to hear like what your favorite performances were, favorite speeches were, favorite looks were. You know, I'm here for it.
Ooh, Lady Gaga in the black dress with the. She had like feathers. The whole dress was like a feather black crow dress.
Yeah.
It was bodycon. It was fire.
All right, Lady Gaga, let's go. So you know, leave us a comment, let us know, and we're gonna come back and we got. Do you consider this a venue? I don't.
Not right now.
No.
Absolutely not right now.
No, I mean, like this is like a low-key event space.
Yeah, no, we're not an event space.
We are not an event space.
Nope, we're a co-working studio for creatives. That's it.
Yep.
There's no events that happen here. There's no venue. This is.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is like pertinent to what we're going to talk about is this is a private space.
This is a private space.
And that's important. We're going to get into that. This is from Tommy's Dots, which is a nonprofit organization that facilitates and advocates for international cultural mobility and exchange. They actually have a lot of interesting resources for musicians. This is a new organization that I've discovered, so I haven't looked into them much. But this document is called Prepare for Immigration Enforcement, Keeping Music and Performing Arts Venues, Staff, Artists, and Audiences Safe. If you throw events of any
Which
kind,
we do.
Right now, and this goes to me as well, you need to be thinking about how you are preparing to handle ICE.
Yes, if they show up.
Yep. Especially if you're in one of the cities that has frequent ICE raids, which of course Los Angeles is,
Minneapolis,
Portland,
Chicago.
Yeah. And I'm sure many, many more that are making the news. So I'm just going to kind of go through their.
This section is just to give you some resources, some ideas of what to do, how to be prepared for when or if that happens at your space or your show.
So what I would do is, like after we kind of go over this, you will likely recognize, unless you have done this, you will recognize places where you're probably not as prepared as you think you might be.
Yes.
And you can
boost those up. Get prepared. Get ready.
So first they say make a call list. Venues should prepare an emergency contact list for the venue staff. Staff need to know who to contact if ICE shows up, who's in charge. Make a list, make like a contact tree. Like if this person is available, then contact this person. If this person isn't available, contact, etc. Next, evaluate your venue's spaces. This is the public versus private. Venues should identify, and I would maybe consider doing this. You can consider doing this as well. Venues should identify which spaces in the venue are public and which are private, because ICE ordinarily can only enter public spaces and they can't enter private spaces unless they have a very specific kind of warrant. As we know, the signed judicial warrant.
Exactly.
So a public space, ICE may freely enter any public space. In general, this is anywhere the public can go without passing security or ticketing staff. So your parking lot, your outdoor areas in front of your venue, if you have a public lobby.
So for our space, anytime you are inside one of the units, that's private
space.
So public space is only going to be in our alley, in our outdoor front area.
Yeah.
But inside, this is private space.
And I think, I don't know, I would, because this space, like right now we're behind a gate. That was really weird, but I'm
absolutely.
Like this. So you are behind a gate. This gate is locked. So I would say nothing about this property is public.
No.
So
But I would say, you could make a claim that like where the swing is, all the
Yeah.
public area where you walk into, that's common space because all the tenants share it.
yeah.
So you could say that's public
Well, it's
area.
just because it's common doesn't say it's public. This is where like I don't
Common versus public.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's public space.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not open to the public.
Then it's not a public space.
Yeah.
But the parking,
Unless
the
we're
sidewalk is
open-
the parking lot. Is
Unless we're open for an event, in
still
which
a private
case
space.
then it's
still
like.
a private space.
But if the door is open, would you consider that public or private?
No, it's private.
I hope so.
It's private.
That's what I
Look,
would say.
it would-
That's what I would
No,
want.
it's look. If you go to this is why they can kick you out of the mall. Like the mall is even though it's like open to the public, you can come in. It's
It's
a private
private.
space, and they can kick you out. So
Yeah.
no, there's nothing about that. This is important. Private spaces can only be accessed by passing security or ticketing staff. So this would include the lobby, the bars, backstage, any house areas. So they say to consider installing signage. Venues should consider placing signage that clearly states private area at all points of access to private areas. I would maybe think that may be something that you would want to consider.
Maybe so.
Prepare a leadership, and then the two last things: prepare a leadership guide and train your leadership. Venues should prepare a clearly written leadership guide, and leadership need to be thoroughly trained to execute its guidance. This is just have a plan.
Yeah, of course.
We do a weekly event. We should have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare a staff guide and train your staff. Venues should prepare a clearly written staff guide, and staff need to be thoroughly trained regarding its guidance. The staff guide should explain the venue's procedures regarding the above things. So this is just a brief overview.
When you talk about creating like a plan and a guide, what do you envision in those?
Well, that's great. Let's get into it a little bit. So because ICE has different kinds of warrants and different kind of documents. If they have a notice of inspection, they ordinarily need permission to proceed beyond public spaces. So this is sometimes they show up with one document, pretend it's another. A notice of
That's what I've seen.
Yeah, a notice of inspection is not a warrant.
No.
So they don't have.
And it needs to be signed by like an actual judge.
So then the second type of thing that is also doesn't give them right to enter, there's something called an administrative warrant.
Yep. Because that's just signed by like the officers above them.
Yeah, they're looking for a particular person. Ordinarily, they need the venue's permission to proceed beyond public spaces. So if they come up with one of these, the guidance would be to tell them, you're not authorized to enter this public space.
Yeah.
Excuse me, not authorized to enter this private space. Sorry for misspeaking there. And then, of course, there's the judicial warrant. So with that, which is the signed warrant by the judge, I'm sure if you're on social media, I know I've reposted this. If you're not up on this, look this up because this is important. If they show up with a judicial warrant, they're allowed to enter.
Yep.
That's that. And then oftentimes they just show up. They don't show up with any documentation. So this basically it says to give them minimum cooperation. Do not permit them to enter the space. They are known to try to trick staff into permitting them to enter private spaces, for instance, by claiming that someone is on the roof and officers just need to come in to deal with a possible burglary.
What would you say the best plan or like steps of action to take in these cases are? That's what I'm most interested in.
The main thing
like if you're running a show, like let's say you're at this venue or another venue and you're having a show, what are the steps you want to put in place?
So the first thing that you need to know is staff need to know to not obstruct ICE. Even if they're doing something they're not supposed to, you can't block them. Unfortunately, you can't grab their arm. Don't jump on them. Don't touch them.
Just like the police.
It sucks.
Just like the police. Don't touch them. Don't engage in front of them.
Good luck, but you can withdraw permission if you think if they seem to think they have permission and you didn't give it, you can say I withdraw my permission, and you must now leave. Fucking good luck, but you can tell them because like a lot of times what we're doing here is like unfortunately like the courts are gonna have to solve this later. So like you're just creating a record
of the incident.
Yeah, speaking, make sure that make sure that anybody who's present is recording.
I think that's the most important thing that we've talked about so far today, outside of the warrants, is making sure that you have video documentation of what's happening, whether that's your patrons pulling out their phone, letting everybody know, hey, this is the time for us to film this situation right now. Or whether that's having security in our facility. We have security covering just about every inch of our facility.
Yep.
So that kind of helps. But if you can create those moments where your staff, your patrons, if you're performing, where you're filming the interaction should this happen.
Yeah, you have the right to film ICE.
Yeah,
as long as you're not obstructing.
Yeah, ICE does not take away your rights.
Right.
ICE does not take away your rights. Your rights are still there. You just need to assert them.
So basically, what they kind of beyond that, they say for leaders, they say like so go get a manager. The manager needs to know, like, you can ask ICE the purpose of their presence, ask them to present documentation, and then take a picture of anything that they provide. Determine if they're allowed based on what evidence they provide, and then go up, do that notification chain that we talked about. Notify who needs to be notified.
So you were a part of the ICE Watch. Tell me a little bit about that, about things that you learned. I remember in June you came here with red cards.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk like a little bit about things that you've learned, ways to be prepared for ICE?
I wish I had to. Do we happen to have any of those red cards?
I still have them. Yeah, they're upstairs.
Okay. Do you want to maybe just run and get one?
Sure.
Why not? Why not?
Do
you know where they are?
No.
Okay. I know they're here because I left a bunch here. ICE basically, like, as we know,
those cards gave like a warning to how to call a certain attorney.
Yeah. Let me look it up real quick. I can just read it out, read where to get one of these, because
and we do have them.
Yeah.
They're just not immediately available right now.
I would really recommend anybody. So this is from the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. And let me see if I can get a picture one. Basically, they offer these in 56 different languages. They really clearly explain your rights. You have constitutional rights. Do not open the door if an immigration agent is knocking. If you are inside of your house, or in this case, your private venue, you can show a card through the window or slide it under there. Do not answer any questions from immigrant agent if they try to talk to you.
You have the right to remain silent.
Right. You can, and that's like literally, you can say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. You have the right to say nothing.
Yeah,
you
right to remain silent.
Yep. You can literally say, I'm not discussing my day with you. And that's that. Do not sign anything.
No.
Without speaking to a lawyer. And you have the right to speak to a lawyer. So that's kind of what the red card is about. You can get these from redcardorders.com. I'll put a link in there. So I would recommend getting the
the red cards give you a list, a really concise, easy list to understand, and it's in multiple languages. So if you have a venue like we do, or you have a space where people are gathering like we do, it's one more resource that you can give out to people so that they're prepared.
What they talked about, the training that I got, they basically, like, we kind of went over it. A lot of it was like, don't obstruct. One of the things that I really stuck out to me that we didn't cover here was the reason you don't obstruct, and the reason you don't get in the way, and you don't jump on them, is not because it's not a moral stance. It's that the limits that we have, like these organizations have in terms of the resources, is real. Yeah. So if you're at a venue and you're not in pursuit, no one's pursuing you, right? But you get in the way of ICE, and now
obstruction of justice.
They come take you. Now some organization has to use its resources to go bail you out of jail, rather than using those resources to bail a person who actually is in real danger of deportation. And
there's also the risk that you could just get shot and killed.
And then there's that. And then the thing is, like, you as an observer, and that's actually probably the point, is like, you have the risk of getting shot and killed, as we know it's very real. But the real risk is for the person who gets detained. I mean, the shit that they're doing, we really don't know the extent of the atrocities that they're committing, but we know they're committing them. And so, for you to get in the way, that takes resources away from what otherwise
another
would be used,
person who really needs
it, because they're out right now in a concentration camp, which is what these are, and we need to start calling them that. Yeah. So if you run any kind of event, any kind of space, I would really recommend getting among the things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend that you start looking into these things now and getting prepared for them now, because when ICE knocks on the door, it's too late. And something I read is like, we often think that we're going to be prepared at the level of our imagination, but the truth is you're only prepared at the level of your training or your practice.
Yes, of your practice. Yeah, I would agree with that. If you are a venue owner like me, or you have a space that you let people in, I would say the first thing to do is to, like we just said, make a list so that every single person who's working here knows who to contact, knows how to contact the owner who owns the space. How do you contact them?
Or the manager, whomever.
Both. I would say both.
But that's what they're saying. Make a contact list, so that you know who to contact.
And when one person isn't available, they can. So ideally, we want to contact the owner. The owner doesn't answer. Great. We can contact the on-site manager. On-site manager doesn't respond. We can talk to this person. And then also make a list of your neighbors. One thing we didn't talk about here is the value of community.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing who's around you and what resources they have. So just banding together, making sure everyth's taken care of, all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted.
Yeah, and if somebody's out there giving away whistles, take one.
Damn right.
So this is real. I really recommend that people right now take a look at this. And so we'll have a link to the Tommy's or the full document. It's about 2 pages. It's very informative, and really recommend it if you're throwing events. Or if you basically like, I was gonna say, like, if you're any person right now in 2026, we need to start making plans for ICE. But this is a music podcast, so with respect to performers and venues, and I would say if you're performing,
when you're putting yourself out there at a show, at a venue, think about this as a way to protect your audience, a way to protect your fans, and a way to protect everybody else around you.
I would even go so far as to ask promoters and ask venues if you're performing and gigging, hey, do you have a plan for ICE? It's probably just something now that we just need to start laying the groundwork for and normalizing, because this is reality and it's not going away.
That's right.
Okay, so that's that. Really encourage you to take action on this. We've got more. Cameron.
Yeah.
As regular listeners of or watchers of our show might know, and as we talked about in episode 28,
that's right.
There was an archive and or activist and or hacker group, depending on who you ask, called Anna's Archive.
That's right.
And they did what? They took
300 terabytes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that right? Like 300 terabytes of data from Spotify.
They basically, as far as we know,
that was a great headline. I loved that.
They backed up and archived all of Spotify.
Which is actually kind of cool. Shout out Internet Archive.
Hell yeah.
Actually kind of fire.
So we did a whole...
Actually, banger clip came from that, of you being like, yo, I would rather have my music pirated. Shout out episode 28.
Yeah, that one went the most viral for our world's smallest. What did we say?
We're the world's smallest music podcast, or world's smallest podcast in music. World's smallest podcast about music.
It was music's biggest night, and we're music's smallest podcast.
That's right.
So it's music's smallest podcast's biggest post.
That's right. Our Grammys.
Yeah, that was. Our Grammy was 22K views. Okay.
That's right. Hey, we making waves, you know?
Yeah, we really...
In a local economy, we really tearing it up.
Look, if 22,000 people were like...
Here?
Seated in front of me right
God.
now, and I was giving hot takes, that would be like... my heart would be...
We'd be going.
Yeah.
The anxiety that we feel would be valid.
Yeah, I'd be tripping. Okay, so here's a new update about this story. I thought this was so funny. It just really kind of like... It really, it really like shines a spotlight on kind of like the rot at the heart of the music industry in a certain aspect of it.
How healthy our industry is.
Spotify has joined Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony in suing the controversial online shadow library Anna's Archive for, wait for this. Oh, by the way, this is from New Industry Focus. Are you ready for the number that they're being sued for?
Tell me.
$13 trillion.
13 trillion? Oh my God. How much do I get per stream?
They have this. Okay. Somebody did the math on this. Spotify and the labels are seeking $13 trillion in damages for the 86 million music files, which comes out to roughly $151,000 per file.
So I'm trying to get my 151. I'm trying to get my check.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to get my check.
Yeah. Yeah.
So come on now.
To me, that is like you like you sometimes do, which I really appreciate about you. You skipped right to the final boss.
I gotta get there. I gotta get to where it goes.
How is a song like Spotify won't pay you unless you have 1,000 streams?
No, and that 1,000 streams isn't going to pay you $140,000.
No, and as
that 1,000 streams is likely going to pay you. You want to give me an approximation? 0.4, 0.61
portions of a penny.
Yeah, like maybe you get like
1,000 streams,
maybe 60 cents. Not even.
No, 1,000 streams would be 1.3 cents.
1.3 cents.
The price went up, so it might be like 1.6 cents now.
So you're gonna get a penny.
Yeah.
You are getting a penny.
Yeah.
But you're definitely not getting. What would that be? 400,000 pennies?
Yeah. No.
That would be a lot of pennies. That would be
millions of pennies.
Millions of pennies.
Yeah.
You're not getting millions of pennies. That's for sure.
I'm gonna look real quick because you brought something that I want to find out is what percentage I spell monetized in the most insane way, but hopefully
DuckDuckGo will know.
So Spotify says, and this is just a headline, Spotify says it pays roughly 30%. Oh, they say they pay about 30% of recorded music. What I want to find out is what percentage of Spotify songs are monetized, which it's
really small.
Yeah, it's the vast majority of songs, as we know. It's like 15 or 14 or 13% of songs.
Yeah, it's less than 70%.
Yeah.
I know for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's like 86% of songs are not modified. See if you can look it up.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay. You see, I fail this utterly. I'll keep talking while you look it up. Spotify was hacked. They scraped 86 million audio files and metadata for 256 million tracks. Oh, they only got 86 million audio files out of 256 million tracks. They were going to release them via BitTorrent. Anna's Archive says they're not pirates because they're not directly hosting the files. That's a technicality which I appreciate. They're being accused of, quote, brazen theft of millions of files containing nearly all of the world's commercial sound recordings. And the music industry says that the actions would, quote, irreparably harm the music industry.
Let me just jump in here really quickly. Approximately, while 60% of tracks don't meet the threshold, they collectively represent less than 0.5 of the total, which means 99.5% of all streams from Spotify are non-monetizable.
Okay.
So a lot.
So
a lot, like 99.5%.
So I'm having this is like such classic music industry math.
That's
where
crazy.
Like somehow 99.5% of all music isn't monetizable anymore, according to Spotify, and somehow like
each song is worth $140,000.
$151K.
$151,000.
Yeah.
That's more than most people's life insurance policy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's more than most people make in a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's more than I'm making in probably 3 years.
Yeah,
more than a couple of years.
So this whole thing, I just think it's just rank hypocrisy.
Yeah.
For them to say that for the music industry to say that each song is worth $151,000, but then where does that money go? Because this is where the socialist in me gets real mad, because we talk about how one of the things that you hear in leftist spaces online, where the commies are, is that profits are unpaid wages.
Yeah.
So if the music industry is willing to say that these songs are worth $151K, that's
actually true too. Like profits are unpaid wages.
Literally,
especially like when we're talking about these corporate situations, like all of the money that your music is made, that anyone's music is made, is getting vacuumed up to the C-suite.
You're right.
Realistically, just getting sucked up into the C-suite and distributed to a few individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to back to everyone who's earned all of the money.
Yeah.
I just thought it was such a beautiful statement. I'm sorry. I had
private equity. I mean, like this money. There's all this money around there.
Yeah.
But somehow, I mean, we've rented on this before, but somehow musicians don't ever get any of it.
No, and it's been that way forever.
Yeah. So 151K. I would love to drop a song and make
150K. Yeah.
Like, I think I put out some good songs, but Spotify doesn't think so. But apparently, they also do.
What do you think Spotify's annual revenue is?
Oh, it's in the billions, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like 2 or 3 billion or something. No,
2 or 3 billion. Is
it?
That your final guess?
Yeah, that's my final guess.
2 or 3 billion.
Oh, 3.
3
Yeah.
billion is your final guess.
The revenue.
What if I told you?
No, wait. No, that's not true because their payout is 3 billion. So I'm guessing the revenue is 33 billion.
$16.96 billion.
Okay. Yeah.
And we can't afford to pay any more to the artists?
And here's what's crazy is, so where do you get from 16?
Daniel, you can't afford anything else. That's all you got?
Where do you then go from 60? Because the difference between 60, look, here's the truth. The difference between 16 billion and 1 trillion
is a lot.
Is almost 1 trillion.
Right? Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is.
The difference between 16 billion and 13 trillion is essentially 13 trillion.
Yeah.
It's so much money. It's unimaginable amounts of money.
You could fill probably the entire U.S. with that much money in $1 bills. It's crazy.
It's unimaginable.
You could probably build a bridge to the moon with that much money.
Yeah. So miss me with this. This is fucked up. I think we kind of. I don't have any more to say about it. Just it points out the hypocrisy. I hope that
16 trillion. 16 trillion is a comical figure.
It's a comical figure.
Yeah.
I hope this thing just gets.
Elon can't help you with this. No. Elon, like, hey, could you give me? Bro, I don't have that money. Like,
yeah, no one's got.
You gotta go to you can't even go to the U.S. We're 3 trillion.
Yeah.
The U.S. is 3 trillion.
Right.
So you can't hit up the U.S. government. Be like, hey, U.S. government, would you be willing? I know. Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't got it in the reserve. Sorry, bro.
I just got this lawsuit and I lost, and so now I owe Sony, UMG, Spotify, and Warner $13 trillion. Like, who's gonna borrow you that money?
Nobody, bro. You gotta talk to the aliens.
Yeah, you're gonna owe God that money. I don't get it. I hope I don't.
You know what? Anna's Archive has been doing such wholesome work.
Yeah.
Maybe they can just borrow it from God.
Maybe.
Get some karma points.
Yeah, for real. Maybe they'll start a GoFundMe.
That's right. You know what?
Yeah, so
maybe Larry Ellison will donate some of that fucking Oracle money.
Should we start a $13 trillion GoFundMe on behalf of Anna's
Hopefully
Archive?
we can meet our goal. Let's do Kickstarter so it doesn't matter if we do.
Okay. So we'll get $60 or $70 or whatever. Yeah, they can have a bake sale.
There we go.
I don't know how to do that.
Get baked and have a sale?
That's the kind of bake sale that I'm used to. So you want to talk real quickly about the other thing?
Yeah. So we have one more story to leave you with this week, which is the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
So the Epstein files have finally made their way into music. I mean, the Epstein files were always kind of tied into music, but like now we got Jay-Z, we got Pusha T, we had Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Who else did we have? We had a few other names.
Donna
we had
Summer. Was it Donna Summer? I want to get this right.
You putting dirt on Donna Summer's name like that?
Well, yeah, it was.
Oh, you know who we didn't talk about really briefly while you're finding this? We didn't talk about the moment that was had at the Grammys last night with 87-year-old a lady. Do you know what I'm going to talk about? There was let me find this for you. It was a Grammy moment, 2026, where she thought that it was Luther Vandross.
Oh,
have you seen this?
Cher.
I'm gonna find this for you.
It was Cher.
Yes. I thought you were like, share this with me, and I'm like, oh no, it was Cher.
No, it was Cher. Yeah, I meant Diana Ross. I'm sorry for saying Diana.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Diana Ross. Yeah, Cher didn't know who
Kendrick Lamar was.
Yeah,
but there's funniness with that too, because one, she's like in her 80s, so it's understandable. But also, like, Luther has a Luther Vandross sample in it.
Right.
So it's like not that far off.
It's just an easy kind of like.
It's kind of a slip.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
Some of the musicians, Michael Jackson, Diana
Going
Ross,
back to the Epstein files.
Mick Jagger is named in there. Not surprising.
Nope.
Basically, news outlets and aggregations of the Contact Book mentioned Courtney Love, who I just like. She's like,
Wasn't that like Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love?
Yeah, Courtney Love. And the thing is, like, Courtney Love was one of the people who was calling out not Epstein, but Weinstein,
Okay.
like way early
Wow.
publicly. And so, like, I just have a hard time. I have a hard time imagining Courtney Love, but
Getting down at the island?
Yeah. Phil Collins would say it isn't.
I would believe that.
I would not.
You would not believe that?
Phil?
Oh, no. I'm thinking of Phil Spector.
Oh, so Phil Spector, yeah.
I would believe Phil Spector was at the island.
Naomi Campbell is named. So, and here's...
No, can you picture Phil Spector shooting a hole in the ceiling at Epstein Island?
Yeah, dude. Having a good time doing it.
Yeah. But not Phil.
So,
not Phil Collins.
So now you mentioned there's a couple of names you said. I was kind of curious. I was kind of waiting to see like musicians show up, but partially like this may vindicate the fact that like these fucking creeps don't care about music.
Yeah.
Because very few musicians are actually named in this thing.
And you know, I thought it was interesting too, because we're going to talk a little bit about Jay-Z and Pusha T. But I thought it was interesting the way they were mentioned in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
It was part of like a FBI, like essentially like a call resource where like if you had tips, like a hotline, you could call in anybody.
Yeah.
And you could have called.
I can read this.
And yeah, you got it.
As noted by Variety, mentions of Jay-Z, Weinstein, and Pusha T, that's Harvey Weinstein and Pusha T, did not come from Epstein's personal records, nor reports corroborated by law enforcement. Rather, both rappers and disgraced Hollywood mogul were named in a tip to the FBI, which was archived as a part of the Epstein investigation. It should be noted that the Department of Justice have stated that the documents released, quote, may include fake or falsely submitted images, documents, or videos, as everything that was sent to the FBI by the public was included in the production that is responsive to the act.
I really hope you and I get to a point that we can be disgraced Hollywood moguls.
What's the most wholesome thing to be disgraced for?
Oh man, talking too ineloquently on the internet.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say maybe like what if you gave like what if it was MC Hammer style where you gave all your money away? You made all your money and then you gave it away, and so you're disgraced because you
have no more money.
Yeah.
And it's America and you need to be a capitalist to have money.
Yeah.
What about this? What about we gave all of our money away to something we thought was really wholesome and it was actually really bad?
Yeah. It was a crypto coin?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're like, for the people coin.
Yeah. Should we start a wholesome music coin?
Wholesome music coin? Wholesome coin, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Look out for that in 2026 because we don't have enough irons in the fire.
We'll call it our W coin.
Yeah. Music's smallest podcast. You heard it here first. We're gonna start a coin.
And we'll have NFTs of our face too.
Oh yeah. Let's go. So just to wrap up, I think
there's a lot here. There's something to dive into.
Pusha T's named, Jay-Z's named, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like a whole clusterfuck of little things happening here.
Yep.
It's, I wouldn't take it too seriously.
This isn't
Wait,
like let's back up. We'll take Epstein's seriously.
I mean the men. I wouldn't. This isn't the call to be like, take Jay-Z off your. I mean, maybe take Jay-Z off your playlist anyway because he's kind of a creep.
He is,
but like. Maybe you could still listen to the Clips record. Maybe you could still listen to Pusha T, wait for some more info, wait for some more deep dives. I just thought this was interesting. I still think that Jay-Z is a creep.
Yeah.
They're claiming this all happened in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z would have been like,
up and comer.
Yeah, he would have been young. He had sold like 44,000 records.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot for us.
Yeah.
But not a lot for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, those aren't the people who are showing up in the island.
In the island?
Nah,
my God, I don't think Epstein was clocking you yet. Mm-mm. Like, no. So anyway, I just thought this was interesting to talk about. We'll probably follow up on it as there's more information.
Yeah.
If there's more credible information.
If musicians show up, I'm very curious to see if musicians show up. Like the biggest, it's because like look who has shown up. It's
Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger.
Mm-hmm.
These are huge names.
Yeah.
So we haven't hit the young upstart rappers.
I mean, how crazy would it be for Beyonce to be at the island?
That's so her brand. It's like so not her brand.
No,
but her brand is so carefully managed.
Yeah.
This this is the thing about Jay-Z is like
That's in his brand.
That's
is on
his
brand for
right?
Jay-Z.
He met Beyonce when she was definitely young.
She was a Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
She was a Destiny's Child.
She's got lyrics about like "You taught me how to love," which is
I can't tell
creepy.
if when Jay-Z met Beyonce, if it was like David creepy
Mhm.
or if it was just like more
Leonardo
Leonardo DiCaprio creepy.
And to be clear, that's all creepy.
That's all. It's no matter what, no
Yeah.
matter where it lands, it's creepy. But there's a discrepancy of how creepy it really is.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you should consider taking Jay-Z off your playlist. I think we can leave it at that. Stick around. We got take it or leave it advice for you
At the end.
All right. We'll be right back. Ginger beer, the official sponsor of the Wholesome Music
That's
Podcast.
right.
You heard it here, folks. We are sponsored by the concept of ginger beer.
This episode is brought to you by Kroger Ginger Beer.
No, it's not.
Welcome everybody to our first sponsor spot.
Now the lawyers are firing up their little Outlook machines.
Yo, excuse me, we did not approve this. Please
Yeah.
do not speak about Kroger.
Yeah.
Don't speak about our ginger beer. This is bad press.
I'm about to try one after this, and then I'll decide whether we're going to accept your sponsorship, Kroger, or not. But thank you for reaching out to us. We are
we
interested.
appreciate it.
We'll get back to you on that. We'll have our people get
By
back to
next
people.
week of next week.
Yeah, we're going to get right on that. Okay, thank you for joining us. As always, this is the Wholesome Music Podcast. We are the DIY podcast about DIY music.
That's right.
We are also music's smallest podcast.
That's right. I kind of like that. We should add that.
I love that. I think that's really fun. It's like, and it's so us.
It is.
We are out here fighting for the little guy.
We are
really
the underdog.
We really do believe.
The unexplained Grammy underdog.
Okay, so I put in one of the TikToks. By the way, so we're on Instagram and TikTok.
We are.
We make clips. We put them on there.
You be killing those clips too.
Thank
Just
you.
chopping them up.
I do.
Chefing it up.
I do a lot of editing. It's a nice it's a nice routine. I am available, by the way, for hire to make your vertical videos. If you've got horizontal videos you need shit clipped, you can reach out to me.
And clap
just a quick
tracks too.
quick plug. Somebody we put a thing up about one of the clips we put up was about last week we talked about your music video strategy, not releasing your video on the same day, right? And so somebody in the TikTok comments was like, well, releasing your video on the same day works for Lady Gaga. So are you saying that Lady Gaga doesn't know what she's doing?
This is a really interesting thing to respond to because your strategy as an independent artist is not the same as the strategy of a large major label artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way your fans are going to respond to you. Let's say you have 1,000 fans. Just 1,000 fans. Let's say you go to your IG, you open it up, you got 1,050 people following you.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
50 are your family and 1,000
Yeah,
your friends.
exactly.
Like your coworkers and 1,000 are your fans.
So those people aren't going to have the same commitment level as
Yeah.
someone who's like a diehard stan.
Right.
For Lady Gaga, who's like, bro, I'm part of what does she call her fans? The
monsters.
I'm one of the monsters.
Yeah.
You know, you're that person, someone who's like a committed monster fan is going to go through and they're going to look for everything that every interview she's done, every single she's released, every music video, every song she's been a collaborator on.
Mm-hmm.
When we are new independent artists, we just don't have that hunger. Our fans haven't learned yet to hunt for us in that way. And so when you're pushing out your content, yes, Lady Gaga or someone like Taylor Swift can do these enormous all-in-one drops where everything just gets pushed out at once so the entire fan base can eat it all up.
Yep. And that's its own news, by the way, when they do that.
Because they're taking over an entire news cycle,
Yep.
much like this fucking administration
Right.
hitting everybody on Friday with a huge news dump.
Right.
This is the same thing. But when we're independent artists and we're small creators, we can't quite move like that. It's almost more effective for us to have multiple intervention points.
Yes.
So multiple times that we can hit the news, hit smaller outlets, and having that like take place over, say, 3 weeks or 2 months is with multiple points, like a music video, photo shoot, the actual song release, more
Behind
and more.
the scenes, studio stuff.
Boom.
And by the way, just to expand on your very excellent point,
Yes.
is that's not the only thing that Lady Gaga is going to do that
No.
day, right? She's got billboards. She's
Mhm.
got television appearances, multiple television appearances.
Yeah.
She's going to be on a couple of all
Camel gonna be on
The View. She's going to be on all of them, right? From
gonna
morning.
do Call Her Daddy.
Yep.
Gonna do whatever podcast. She's gonna do the Wholesome Music podcast.
Right. She's going to do a ton of media. She's going to do a ton of press. She's got a whole PR team. She's got a whole agency team behind her, and then of course she's gonna book a 35-date U.S. tour,
Absolutely.
and then a huge, then a 150-day international tour.
Absolutely.
You just don't have the juice to
Yet.
drop music the way that Lady Gaga drops music. So thank you for pointing out in the comments that maybe that does work for the big people.
And it does, like that's another thing that we're talking about is like, let's say maybe you are that big. Then you're looking at a different strategy. That's more of like a press takeover. You're really trying to media blackout with this entire thing. So you're trying to cover everything. Just like think of, if you're at that scale, think of yourself as the DDoS attack, like the DDoS attack.
Yeah,
the DDoS.
yeah.
You're DDoSing.
Yeah.
You're trying to spam the whole world.
Yeah.
When you're an independent, smaller artist, you just don't have that power yet. So you're not going to be able to shut it down. You need to think a little bit more like a protest. Instead of calling the whole office trying to shut it down with the phone calls, you're just trying to call enough times that they remember your name.
That's well said. And look, here's what's crazy about that is that's not even our take it or leave it advice.
No, it's not.
That's just some shit that Cameron just dropped on you. Insane. Okay, so
what is our take it or leave it advice?
So before we go, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. We do this every single week.
That's right.
We really want you to follow us on whatever platform you're
on YouTube,
engaging with us right now. And
YouTube Shorts going crazy.
Yep, we're doing
keep
that.
coming over there.
So we're gonna do this. We do one of these every single week. So if you want to get next week's episode, you need to subscribe so that you can, so that it shows up in your feed,
in your news feed.
Now, our take it or leave it advice. We do this at the end of every episode because we really want to encourage you to stay to the end because that's good for our algorithm.
Yes.
The take it or leave it advice we switch off. This week is mine. It is quite simply, you're on Bandcamp, right?
That's right.
Okay, so here's what I need you to do. For every single song that you have on Bandcamp, put your lyrics on your Bandcamp.
Ooh.
Every single song has a place to type it in, and I want to tell you one of the there's an SEO reason, which is good. There's the actual just kind of fan engagement. People want to know what you're saying.
Yes,
that's great. But there's an underutilized kind of secret reason why you can be doing this is because DJs. If they have a radio show, they have to have a terrestrial radio show. They have to comply with FCC rules. So if they have to listen to your song, to listen to every single word to see if you made the F-bomb, if you said the SHIT word, this
is explicit. Can't play it.
They can't play it. And the thing is, if you don't have explicit lyrics, they might not listen long enough, especially if your stuff is really wordy, just to find that out. So a big pro tip, if you're like, whether or not you're sending it out to DJs, but especially if you have a relationship with DJs, or if you're working with me as a PR person, we're going to make you do
hoping
this.
To hit the radio.
We're going to make you do this because DJs are they're going to check out your shit, and they're going to want to know if your stuff is FCC or not. And so
if you have a clean version.
And I will tell you that DJs very often are just trolling through Bandcamp.
Much like music supervisors, looking quick.
Yep.
Looking quick.
Yes. Music supervisors is another one. So like having your lyrics on there, it just gives you, like, if you don't have it, it's an instant quit many times because they got too much, there's too much content.
Yeah.
So one thing, a little tiny thing you can do to have a leg up with your music as far as your content strategy is to put your lyrics on Bandcamp.
That's right.
Okay, everyone.
That's some advice that you can take
or leave. This has been the Wholesome Music Podcast. We'll see you next week. Bye.